Tonight, we're floating to a faraway place where the moon paints silver paths on water, where palm trees whisper to the night, and cats guard doorways with bright, curious eyes. We're going to ancient Egypt, where the Nile River flows like a silky ribbon through golden deserts, bringing life wherever it moves. Now, take a deep breath in and out. Feel your pillow like a warm sandbank beside a quiet river. Close your eyes and imagine you're in a small reed boat. The boat is gentle and steady, like a cradle. The sides are woven from papyrus reeds, tied carefully by patient hands. The water swishes in soft, sleepy patterns. A warm breeze brushes your cheeks. You smell sweet date palms and the clean scent of wet river plants. Far away, frogs sing, and crickets play tiny violins. Somewhere on the bank, a cow lowing to her calf answers the night. The stars above are bright and friendly. One of them twinkles as if it's winking just at you. On the left bank, a quiet village glows with golden lanterns. Houses are made from sun-baked mud bricks, smooth and cool to the touch. Doorways are shaded with woven mats, and gently sleeping cats curl beside baskets of grain. In one house, a child your age lies on a bed stuffed with soft reeds, just like you. A mother hums as she smooths a linen sheet. Linen is cool and light, made from flax plants grown in the rich dark soil after the river's flood. She hums a tune the Nile has known for thousands of nights, and her song floats out into the warm air and comes to rest on the edge of your little boat. Your boat drifts closer to the shore, and you step onto the soft earth. A path leads through waving grasses to the village. Fireflies blink like tiny lamps, guiding your feet. The village smells like warm bread and honey. A baker has taken loaves from a clay oven shaped like a beehive. He taps a crust, and the sound is snug and homelike. "Welcome," whispers the baker, smiling. "We saved a heel of bread for the traveler." He breaks a small piece and places it in your hand. It tastes of sunlight and something sweet, maybe dates. A thin stripe of sesame makes it nutty and toasty. You nibble, and the bread helps your eyes feel heavy and happy. Across the square, a scribe sits at a low table with a smooth wooden board. He dips a reed pen into a tiny pot of ink and writes careful lines on papyrus. Papyrus is made from the same reeds as your boat, sliced, pressed, and dried until it becomes a pale sheet that whispers when you turn it. The scribe's hand moves in gentle strokes, a bird, a ripple, an eye, a swirl, symbols that are both picture and sound. He looks up and nods politely. "Each mark is a word," he says softly. "Each word is a small boat carrying an idea." He sets down his pen. "Would you like to see a story float?" He blows lightly on the ink, and the symbols shine. You nod, and the scribe smiles. "Come back tomorrow," he whispers. "Tonight is for dreams." A cat slips from the shadows, coat striped like river reeds. She winds around your legs and purrs, a tiny drum that hums. "Her name is Mio," says an old woman weaving a basket. "Let her walk with you to the river. Cats are guardians of calm." The cat skims ahead, tail high like a royal flag, and you follow her down to the moonlit bank. Your reed boat waits, whispering against the shore. You step in with the cat, and the boat drifts onward. Night is deep and soft. The moon is a silvery coin. You pass fields that will soon be green with barley and flax. Fields that listen for the river's flood each year. When the Nile rises, it leaves a blanket of rich black earth called silt. It's the gift that keeps everyone fed. People, goats, even the birds who tiptoe through the puddles. Now, farther along the bank, something tall stands against the sky. At first it looks like a mountain, but as you draw near, you see crisp edges and straight lines. It is a pyramid, ancient and steady, resting on the earth like a giant's quiet thought. Its stones glow in the moonlight. At the base, a calm statue watches, the body of a lion, the head of a person, dreaming, guarding, remembering. Your boat stops near a stairway of stone. The cat hops out lightly, and so do you. Your bare feet feel the coolness of night-kissed rock. The pyramid doesn't speak with words, but you feel it telling a story, a long, long story about time and patience, and hands that build carefully, stone after stone, like placing beads on a string. The wind moves and seems to say, "We were made to point to the sky, to the stars that guide farmers and sailors, to the patterns that tell when the flood will come." You sit on a step beside a lantern. A gentle man in linen, with a simple staff, sits too. He is a temple caretaker with thoughtful eyes and the smile of someone who listens a lot. He looks at the pyramid and then at you. "Do you know the story of the sun?" he asks in a whisper. You shake your head just a little. "In the morning," he says, "the sun god rises his golden boat across the sky, lighting the fields so flax can grow tall and the baker can see his bread turning brown. At night he sails through the underworld, where he rests and wrestles with shadows so he can rise again strong. We look up to the stars to know his paths." He points. "There's the river of the sky, and there a bright star that tells us when to plant. The sky is a calendar, and the calendar is a comfort. With it, no matter what happens, we know the seasons will return." You gaze upward. The stars are countless, like a sprinkle of salt on blue silk. For a tiny moment, you feel you could float among them. The caretaker's voice continues, slow and soothing. "We tell stories so children won't fear the night. We tell stories so grown-ups remember to be kind in the day. We tell stories so time feels like a friend." He rises and touches the stone. "Rest well," he says. "The pyramid will watch with me." You nod. Your boat tugs at its rope as if eager to keep going, and you drift away with a purring cat beside you. The river widens. On one side, a small cluster of boats is moored together. You hear soft music. Harps, pipes, a drum like a heartbeat. A family celebrating a good harvest. Children dip their hands into bowls of honey and laugh quietly when it sticks to their fingers. A grandmother tells a riddle about a crocodile who wanted to learn to dance. The answer makes everyone smile. You wave and they wave back. "Travel safely," calls a voice like wind in tall grass. Your boat glides through a veil of silver moonlight and into a stretch of river where lotus flowers open their pale faces to the night. One blossoms right beside your hand. Its petals are smooth and cool, and it smells faintly sweet like a promise. Now the river grows very still, as if holding its breath for a special secret. The cat lifts her head and looks toward the far bank. You follow her gaze and see a temple painted with soft colors. Columns carved with leaves stand in rows like a stone forest. Lamps flicker in the doorways. A priestess in white linen stands at the top of the steps, holding a small oil lamp that barely moves in the breeze. "Welcome, traveler," she says gently. "Would you like to hear a story of kindness?" You tie your boat and climb the steps. Her voice is calm and warm. "Once," she begins, "the land forgot to be gentle. Storms shouted, and people hurried and bumped into one another. So the Lady of Magic and Care, some call her the Mother with clever hands, walked along the river. Wherever she placed a hand, grain grew. Wherever she set down a jar, water became sweet. She told the people, 'Share your bread, and your days will feel full.' And so they did. The storms grew quieter, and the land remembered how to be kind." The priestess smiles. Kindness is a spell anyone can cast. It needs only 2 ingredients: a willing heart and the smallest brave action. She gives you a tiny clay amulet shaped like a lotus bud. "For peaceful dreams," she says. You tuck it into a little pocket near your heart. Down the steps again, into your soft boat, and the priestess lifts her lamp in a silent blessing as you drift away. The night air carries you onward. You pass fishermen who sleep on their boats with nets folded like blankets. And you pass a farmer's field where a water wheel creaks slowly, lifting river to channel, channel to field, so plants can sip while the farmer rests. A heron lifts into the air, legs trailing like 2 reeds, wings beating in unhurried strokes. Somewhere far off, a crocodile slides into the water with hardly a ripple, so smooth you feel more amazed than afraid. The cat watches and then curls back into a circle of sleep, trusting the river. Dawn begins as a thought of color behind the desert hills. Dusty, rose, then tangerine, then a clean, bright gold. The first birds are already busy, calling to one another. "I am here, are you there? I am here." The air smells new. The river blushes pink as if it, too, is waking. You touch the water with your fingertips and whisper a tiny thank you to the Nile for carrying boats and ideas and stories and seeds and families from one day to the next. As the sky grows lighter, your boat finds a gentle curve in the river where palm trees lean in like friends sharing secrets. A small market is waking up. Traders unroll mats and set out their treasures. Strings of blue-green beads, baskets of figs, jars of perfumed oil, and swatches of linen that shine like soft water. You tie your boat and wander among the stalls. "Smell this," says a kind man, lifting the lid from a jar. The scent of frankincense rises, sweet, woody, clean, and seems to make your thoughts smooth and slow. "For calm," he says. "It helps busy minds remember how to rest." You smile. "And this," says a woman selling baskets. She hands you a tiny woven charm shaped like a fish, for good luck and safe travels. You thank her, and she laughs softly. The river already likes you, she says, but a little luck is a friendly thing. Across the way, a storyteller sits on a low stool. Children gather at his feet, and you sit among them. He lifts his hands and begins. Here is the story of how the calendar learned to count, he says. His voice is gentle and round. He tells of great beings who argued and hugged and traded days and nights until the year fit just right, with seasons that knew when to arrive. He tells it simply, and you can feel the puzzle pieces click into place. And so, he ends, the people knew when to plant and harvest, when to build and when to rest, when to tell stories and when to listen to dreams. The children clap softly, more a patter than a thunder. One more, they ask. The storyteller smiles, just one tiny more.